Hi, I'm Amy Parsons. I wanted to talk to you today about the world of dog training. It can be extremely confusing for the average owner if you're looking for help with your dog or you have a new dog that you need to do some training with and you start looking online for ideas. The field is extremely vast, and if you ask 10 different trainers the same question, chances are you'll get 10 different answers, which does not make it easier to sort through. So I wanted to give you an overview of what's out there. So in the training world, there's a couple different trends that are very popular. The dog training world tends to follow parent training or parenting trends. So although parenting is kind of like training as well, but I have a strict rule: I do not train children or husbands. But the trends in parenting where everybody's a winner, everybody gets a trophy, you need to be your child's friend instead of their parent, don't hurt their self-esteem, that's been pretty popular now for 10 years or so, maybe 15 years, and dog training has followed that trend. And what you see because of it is the term all positive training, or no force training. And what that means is that you're ignoring bad behavior and only rewarding good behavior. Now the challenge with that is it's extremely confusing to your dog. Dogs are very black and white in their learning. They're very black and white when they communicate with each other. And to them, that type of communication is the gray area. It's very confusing to them. What I've also found with it, it can be challenging for the human in the training process. It requires the most work on the human's behalf of the different training methods, and you need to be ever vigilant. You have to always have treats ready. You have to always, if you're using a clicker, you have to always have your clicker with you. So it requires a different level of dedication for humans. And for most people, that's very challenging. They start out really strong and do really well, but the consistency is difficult. We have so many different things going on in our daily lives that it makes it very difficult for us to be consistent with that type of model. Now, the origination of it is fantastic. So it originated with zoologists working with captive wild animals. So whether you're talking about whales or dolphins or zoo animals like apes, or basically any zoo animal, where they would work with them to help to make required examinations and medical treatments less traumatic. I listened to saw a speaker once who was a zoologist who taught a male gorilla who had diabetes how to willingly submit to his insulin shots daily. So that's fantastic when you can do that. The difference, though, when you take that sort of an approach with the dog that lives in your home is that is their full-time job. So they get to go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's their job for the next 8 to 10 hours. We don't have that kind of time to dedicate to our dog training, unfortunately. And the other piece of it is that it's an extremely controlled environment. If you're dealing with an aggressive wild animal that lives in a zoo, it's extremely controlled. It's in a cage. You're not living in your home with it. So when I deal with dogs that have aggression issues and they're living in your home, that's a totally different scenario where, giving you a clicker and some treats is not going to make you feel great about that situation and how you need to get from point A to point B as fast as possible. So those are the challenges I've seen with that type of training. The other piece is that you want to make sure that you're considering how dogs communicate with each other. So that's how we want to parent our children, and that's how we think that we should communicate with dogs. But the reality is that's not how dogs communicate to each other. They are very black and white with each other. They're very clear. And if you've ever had one dog tell another dog to knock it off, if you have a multi-dog household, or you take your dog to the dog park or whatever, play with a neighbor's dog or family member's dog, and one dog gets tired of whatever the other dog is doing and they tell them to stop, it is not could you please stop doing that? I'm really tired of that. It is a very fast and immediate, "Rah!" And then the offending dog will generally, sorry, my bad, I won't do that again. And that's how dogs communicate with each other. So why do we feel that we need to handle that differently? Why don't we spend a little bit of time learning how to speak to them in their language so that you get better results faster, and it provides a much better relationship with your dog. So you start to pay attention to them, they understand that you understand them, and it's a really great place to be with your dog. So if you're interested in learning more about this, stay tuned to my social media stations, or go to my website, amyspeaksdog.com, where we'll be continuing to explore this and other topics of how you can have the best possible relationship with your dog, and I'll be happy to help you along that way.